It's obvious you enjoy driving the car. So I thought that for, say, 4 days of the week you could act as chauffeur. Then when you feel like a break in the garden, you can have it. There'd be an increase in salary, of course.
Was that meant to impress me too? You've known who I am since the wedding, haven't you? What the hell are you playing at, Mrs. Hamilton?
I can't say I'm surprised you've guessed. I should never have told Wayne. He's hardly been subtle.
That isn't an answer, Mrs. Hamilton.
Patricia, please. It's not an answer, no. But you must see it from my point of view. I wasn't very happy when Hal told me who you were. In fact, I was rather angry that you'd chosen to lie to me.
It wasn't a lie.
But I realized how very clever you'd been. You placed yourself in a perfect position to make up your mind about me. I had to do something about it. Can you blame me?
How long are we going to keep it up?
Oh, it couldn't have gone on much longer. Hal Mason's like a cat on hot bricks wanting to talk to you. I do hope that you'll accept what James left you and take your place on the board. I know how much it meant to him to see you trained and given a career. That's why I went to the States looking for you. I made a promise to James that I would look after your interests, and I intend to keep that promise.
I'd like to talk to everyone involved in my decision.
Fine.
Could you set up a meeting for 10 in the morning? I'll see Fiona, let her know.
I gather you know her.
Our granddad introduced us years ago. Well, that's why I headed straight to her place when I landed back. So, if you could organize a meeting, 10, with Mr. Mason.
Of course. Don't take it all so seriously. You should see your face. That's better. What you've seen of me since you've been here is honest. I don't know what Fiona's told you, but I'm a perfectly normal human being. Now that it's all out in the open, what have we got to lose? Go on. Let Fiona know what's happened.
You've pretty well turned the tables on me, haven't you?
Serves you right.
Have you decided what to do now?
Regarding the company, I'll tell you tomorrow at the meeting.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to tell me now, surely.
When it comes to business, I think it's fairer that I talk to the three of you together, don't you?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Well, Granddad wouldn't have set it up that way unless that's what he wanted.
Suppose you're right. Are you going to stay at Patricia's? Now she knows there's hardly any point you being out there. And you certainly can't go on doing her gardening.
True. I'll move out tomorrow. But I want to keep clear of the place till later tonight. Well, Rob and Angela get back today. I don't want to muck up their first day back.
Well, I'll line something up for you.
Thanks. Pity. I liked living there.
With the sort of money you've got, my darling, you could buy anything you want.
It's marvellous to see you back.
You look well. Must have done you good.
That was wonderful. How about you getting yourself a car and not buying it from me?
Well, I didn't really have all that much choice.
Okay. It's nice to know who your friends are, that's all.
Oh, don't. I'll come and see you when it's time to trade it in.
Give you 3 weeks.
Let's get organised. Suitcases upstairs.
All right.
I made your favourite for dinner.
Trying to get back in my good books, are you?
I better get on with it.
I've got some work to do. I'll see you later.
Good to be back. Oh, you want to get changed? I'll leave you to it.
I'd like to have a talk to you. It's all right.
Sure. Like a drink?
No, thanks. I know about you and David. He couldn't keep it from me any longer. I didn't understand properly, you see, about Beryl leaving him.
I see. I I can understand if you're angry with me for not talking to you about it.
No, I'm not. It's probably better that you didn't say anything. I don't think I would have handled it all that well at the time.
And now?
Well, David said, as far as he was concerned, that it's all over. But what about you?
Oh, yes. Has been for some time. I wanted to tell you before, but I was so scared.
Amazing how you can change your attitude towards things, isn't it? I know it's possible to feel something for someone and not be able to do anything about it.
I know you do, darling. Paul and I had a long talk. I could see something was wrong. If you want to talk about the way you feel, I'm here, and I do understand.
No idea what a relief it is to hear you say that. I really need someone to talk to.
We need each other.
I felt so scared when I found out Beryl had left David. David rang us last night at Macedon. I just couldn't sleep a wink.
It must have come as quite a shock.
I mean, they'd always had such a strong marriage. And then when I thought of Rob and I and what a bad start we got off to, I just wondered if we'd done the right thing.
But you've changed your mind.
I'm frightened. Well, I'm frightened that I'm the sort of person who can be in love and yet at the same time feel something for someone else. That's why when Rob started talking about having children, I just couldn't handle it.
We are alike, you know, you and I. With David, I just couldn't fight against the way I felt. But it wasn't long after the affair started that we both realized it wouldn't work. It couldn't. We both felt too much for our own families. And I was terrified when I thought I'd lost Gordon. You know that. Well, what I find so sad is that David's marriage has broken up and he did the right thing. Still, it's not solving your problem, is it? Don't try and avoid Paul. Express your feelings towards him, but in friendship. We had a long talk while you were away. He's a very sensitive boy. I'm sure he'll understand. Maybe if David and I had talked a little more, instead of bottling it all up inside, we wouldn't have made the mistakes that we did.
I didn't think of handling it that way.
Give it a try. Also, it would help me out of rather a tight situation, too. You see, Paul...
No, that's enough girl talk. Time to be social.
Oh, just catching up on a bit of gossip.
Yeah, I bet. I rang Fiona's. I was going to go over and see Beryl, but Fiona's given her something to make her sleep, so I'll leave it till tomorrow.
Oh, with a bit of luck, you'll be able to do some good.
Got to try. Do you feel like a drive down to see our block later on?
Yeah, sure.
Rob, I was just about to tell Angela something. Could you give us a few moments? It's quite funny, actually. I'll let you all in on it later.
Can't wait. See you back inside.
Paul Clark isn't Paul Clark. He's James Shepherd's grandson.
You're late. I heard you right up.
Has your mother told you?
Yeah, she thinks it's funny.
How was everyone?
Fine. Rosie reckons she always knew you came from a good family. I feel a bit awkward.
So do I.
Do you want to sit down for a second?
Sure.
I had a long talk with my mother about you and me.
Oh? Well?
I wanted to talk to you by yourself, straighten things out. I nearly called off the wedding.
I didn't know that.
No, probably better you didn't. I'm very glad now that I went ahead with it. Rob and I are very happy. But I feel awful about what's happened, and I hope we can both forget it.
Sure.
And as far as you going is concerned, I know Mother would like you to stay, and so would I.
I couldn't. It wouldn't feel right.
wouldn't be difficult. I know it wouldn't. And I'd be really disappointed if you did.
I'd feel strange.
It won't take long. I think we could be really good friends. And I'd like that. And my mother would like it too.
You really think so?
She takes the promise she made to your grandfather very seriously. I thought it'd be rather nice if you and I could have the same friendship they did. It seems a pity not to.
If you put it like that, I suppose it does.
Please stay.
Hard to say no.
That's great.
Better get moving. Hal will be getting anxious. See you later.
Bye.
Had to come up for seconds. Must be the weather making me so hungry.
Oh, what have you got planned for today?
Well, first up, I have to go over and see Beryl. Come with me?
Oh, I'd like to, Rob. I think it's probably better if you go on your own first, love.
Not easy, eh?
I'm sorry to be putting it all onto you. Tell her I love her and I'll see her soon.
Well, hello there. Nice to see you at long last, Paul.
Hi, Mr. Mason.
Come on inside. We've got lots to talk about. Morning, Mrs. Hamilton.
Morning, Mr. Mason.
You don't mind if I have just a few words with Paul first?
No, of course not. I'll join you in a minute.
Right.
Morning.
Good morning.
I bet you thought you were playing a right-all game.
I beg your pardon.
Letting Paul work for me, hoping I'd hang myself. Must be very disappointed.
Not at all. I don't have to work at it. You'll do that yourself. I must admit I did get a bit of a laugh, though. You going off to the States to try and get in before me. I've known Paul for so long.
I think it'll be all right if we go in now.
Good morning, Paul.
Morning, Fiona. I wanted to talk to the three of you together. As Grandad felt, you should be the people to guide me. Now, Fiona knows, but I think I should tell both of you why I'm not too sure about taking on the responsibility. I'm very close to making my decision, but Fiona pointed out, quite rightly, I shouldn't feel influenced or pressured by outside events. But I can promise you, when I do decide, it'll be final. If I go back to studying, I hope we can still be friends. You know that Fiona's been a friend for quite a while, but now I've had a chance to get to know you a little. I can see why Grandad thought so much of you. If I do decide to go along with my grandfather's wish, I'll be in your hands, completely. I did all right at college, but I'm not too crash hot on the business side of things. I'll do what I can to learn quickly, but I'm going to need all the help you can give me. As I said, I'll let you know very soon what I've decided about the priesthood. I'd prefer it if it was kept between us, though. People tend to treat you differently once they know you've been in the seminary. That's about it.
That you could do with a drink.
Talk about butterflies.
Oh, don't be silly. You handled yourself very well. And none of us deserved the things you said about us. I must change out of these clothes. And don't worry. We're all happy to wait until you've made up your mind.
Well, it sounds as though you took over.
Hardly.
Your grandfather must have been a really great man. I only met him a few times, but he did seem very nice.
Yeah. He lived for the business, of course. Always put work first. break up the family because of it. My father married. My granddad didn't like my mother, so he cut Dad off completely. He said he wouldn't have anything to do with him, and he didn't. Not a letter, a phone call, nothing, for 20-odd years.
Must have hurt your father.
From as far back as I can remember, I always felt Dad would have liked to have made contact. But my mother did a very good job against Granddad.
How did you get to know him then?
Curiosity. I fronted him. Granddad said that was very brave. You're a very brave young man, he said. Very brave. We were good friends. But he never mentioned Dad. Not once. And I thought he never would. But then I found this in a drawer in his desk. My father. Well, he must have been about 25 then. I can't help feeling Granddad left it for me. To show me he did care for Dad. So sad he couldn't tell him himself.
See that you can really blame me.
Oh, you weren't exactly subtle about ingratiating yourself with him. No wonder he cottoned on.
It turned out okay.
No thanks to you.
Hal had a go at me about it too.
I'm not surprised. If I were you, I'd pull your socks up. Hal's not the type to tolerate too many bungles.
I'll be right. If I can pull off what I'm working on now, I'll be back in the good books.
What's that?
Hotline to Fiona. See you later.
You working this morning?
Got to keep in good with the boss.
He's keen, working on a Saturday.
Not keen, worried. Oh, what's on your agenda today?
Only one more day off. Gonna make the most of it. Angie's gonna teach me how to ride.
You'll go back to work with a sore rump.
Oh, you never know, I might be a natural.
I know that it's still your honeymoon, but, why don't you ask Paul to join you? I think he's going to feel a bit uncomfortable for a few days. I know he's agreed to stay on here, but it's up to us to make him feel welcome, show him that we don't hold any grudges. For pulling the wool over our eyes.
Oh, right. Yeah, no worries. Angie won't mind. She likes him.
Good.
No rest for the wicked. Even have to go in on Saturday mornings.
Shouldn't worry you.
Sorry?
Oh, like you said the other day. You really enjoy it.
Right. If you do decide to come to Ramberg, I should be able to help you quite a bit.
I'll manage.
How does it feel to be worth a fortune?
Not much different from being a gardener, really.
You sure you don't want to come riding with us?
I'd love to, but I really should go and see Mum.
Oh, well, some other time. But Rob reckons Bill's pretty low.
I'd be surprised if she wasn't.
Are you two having breakfast, or shall I get Rosie to clear away?
Oh, not for me. I'll see the Savo.
Bye. Only coffee for me, thanks.
Mum thinks we should invite Paul to go riding with us. What do you reckon?
It's important that he realise you're friends, darling.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I think being with a couple like you is just what he needs.
No, I don't see that we're that different from any other couple. Bit crazier, maybe.
Angela understands what I mean, don't you, darling?
Yes, I do, Mother. You're right.
John's in a hurry. Where's he off to?
Oh, to see Beryl, and then he's dropping in on Di Miller.
Is he interested in her?
I'm not sure. He said he had a housewarming present for her.
Are they keeping you waiting?
No rush?
I'm off to the opening of an art gallery. Hopefully, I'll come back with something for Gordon's study.
Oh, yeah. What happened to that old photo?
Gordon got rid of it. It was very mysterious when I asked him why. Perhaps it was bringing back too many unhappy memories. Long story. Oh, have a nice morning.
Thanks.
Any decisions yet?
Not yet.
I must say, your studying in a seminary came as a bit of a surprise. No wonder there was tension between you and James in the last few years.
Grandad could be pretty bigoted when it came to religion. I think I can understand why he made the will the way he did. Being around you and Fiona, you both enjoy life so much, maybe thought some of it would rub off.
Church or big business, very romantic.
Seems pretty normal to me.
That's because you've lived with it for so long. I know what I'm hoping.
Why do you see Angie? She's going the whole hog. You'll see.
Have a nice day, you two.
She's a nice lady.
Won't get much argument there. She just about hit me when I laughed at her. I mean, I reckon those things look crazy on anyone. But you better not laugh, she'll get snaky.
Try not to.
Talk about being on top of the world. Well, you've only seen the good side of me. A few months ago, I was a real waster. Used to just bum around, go from job to job. Meeting Angie's been the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Very lucky.
Yeah, too right I am. Don't expect you to understand, but it's crazy how your life can change. All of a sudden, just like that. Should have seen the look on my mum and dad's faces when they came up for the wedding. My dad said to me that accepting a bit of responsibility is the best thing I've ever done.
I suppose you can't just keep wandering around, waiting for it all to drop into your lap.
No, you've got no worries, mate. Not with what you're worth.
Ready whenever you are. You say anything and I'll flat you.
I think you look great.
Oh, greaser. Come on, let's go. I'll bring the car round.
He was saying before he came down that he thinks he's very lucky. I think you're lucky too.
I know. Oh, it's good to see you smiling again after last night.
I'm not the sort that lets things get him down for too long. Come on, let's go have some fun.
Okay.
Oh, your mum was right about being sore.
Oh, wait till tomorrow.
I'll leave it here. I think the spark plugs could do with a clean.
I thought you were going to play chess too.
Me? He's going to have his hands full teaching you, let alone me.
Hey, how come you don't get rid of that old bomb?
I've only just married her.
Thanks a lot.
No, really, it seems crazy you working in a car yard and driving a heap like that.
I've got attached to the old girl. Well, I'll leave you two to exercise your minds.
See ya.
I'm pretty dusty. I'll get changed first.
Okay.
I'm warning you, you'll be pushing it uphill to teach me.
Oh, it's worth a try. You never know. It's more a case of being a cunning strategist than having brains.
Oh, God, you've got no hope.
The term for that position is check. It means your king can be taken, but you can get out of it.
And checkmate's when you can't get out of it.
Spot on.
Right.
Well, you know all you need to. We may as well have a game. It's the best way to learn properly.
Hi.
G'day.
Oh, hi.
Is Patricia home?
Oh, she's gone to the opening of an art gallery. Shouldn't be long.
Oh, I'll be upstairs. Could you let her know I want to talk to her when she gets in?
Yeah, sure. How's Beryl?
I'll leave you to it.
Beryl's his mum, isn't she?
David and she have split. It's a shame. Still, we've all got our problems. Right, who goes first?
Choose. White. You're first.
Right.
Grandad gave your mum this set, you know.
You miss him, don't you?
Like crazy. He was an amazing man. Hal Mason said something about me stepping into his shoes. Some chance of that.
You'll never know if you don't try.
Oh, I don't know if I'm suited to that sort of thing.
I mean, if it's a choice of just that or bumming around, what have you got to lose?
I worry about whether it's going to give me what I want.
Oh, I loved it when I got my job at the start. It made all the difference to me.
Well, your move.
Okay. Right, now, does the bishop go diagonally or straight down the board?
Diagonally.
I'll get it eventually.
It takes the roundabout way of getting there. And checkmate.
Well, I didn't expect to win, but you did it in about 5 minutes. That's ridiculous.
Another one?
Oh, maybe later. I'll go and see what Rob's up to.
Okay.
But I'll get you.
Hello, Mason.
It's Paul Shepherd, Mr. Mason. Could I come and see you this afternoon?
Of course, I told you, anytime.
I'll be over in a few hours. I've made my decision.
I'm sure you'll never regret your decision, Paul.
Hope not.
Well, this is yours. I'll organize a social gathering tonight so you can meet the members of the board.
Pretty short notice.
For Paul Shepherd, they'll be there.
I've never felt I was, important before. Feels funny.
Well, it's not going to be any joyride. We'll be working you.
Good.
Well, I'll leave you to it. Get the feel of the place. When you're leaving, I'll be in my office.
Oh, one thing I was worried about, though. I get the feeling there's a pretty big problem between Fiona and Patricia. From things Fiona said, I don't want to end up the meat in the sandwich.
You're your own boss. You'll have to make your own decision on that.
Oh, Grandad did ask both of them to look after me.
Yes, well, he wasn't aware of the animosity between them.
Well, what are your ideas on it?
I don't buy into personal conflicts. I do know that Patricia is by far the better businesswoman. On any other level, you'll have to make your own decision.
John, I'm home. To the study. What do you think?
Okay.
Oh, I'm not mad keen on it myself, actually. Still, it's Gordon's taste, and he's got to live with it.
I don't mind it, actually. I'm worried about Mum. I get the feeling she thinks I'm siding against her. She's a bit...
Something as traumatic as a miscarriage can have strange effects.
Yeah. Last thing she needs is to be upset. And I reckon if I don't convince her I'm not taking sides, she won't relax with me.
What can you do?
Well, it's a long shot. But I think you could help.
Oh, I didn't mean it.
You asked for it.
Don't! Your hands are filthy.
What am I?
Don't! You're a grease monkey.
All right, you asked for it.
Oh, yuck.
There. Who's a grease monkey now?
You're stupid.
So?
So you are, that's all. Oh, yuck.
You been on out?
Yeah?
Won't be back for a while.
Right.
Oh, would you get that, love? I'll get all tangled up if I go. Oh, 2 visits in one day.
I've brought someone to see you. I asked Patricia to come. Thought she could explain it wasn't Dad's fault that he didn't get home in time. And to let you see everything's above board.
Beryl, if there was some confusion about Susan's message, then I'm to blame. And I'm sorry that it's caused problems between you and David. I know how you must have felt when you lost the baby and he wasn't there.
That's enough, Patricia.
I want you to believe me, Beryl. There's absolutely nothing between David and I now, and I'm just sorry that your life is in such a mess.
Get her out of here, John.
Mum, she's here to help.
Like hell she is. We both know why you're here.
I'm sorry. John asked me to come.
Just go. Both of you.
I didn't want to upset anybody.
It wasn't easy for her to come, you know.
I'll talk to you later, Johnny.
Never thought that.
It's all right. Come on.
Why, that scheming, two-faced...
John believes every word she says.
She's just got too many people jumping through her hoops.
How could she be so cruel and vicious and still fool him?
Years of practice.
What did she expect to get out of it?
She just couldn't resist gloating. You know, I think we could both use a drink.
I never expected anything like that.
Oh, stop worrying. It was worth a try.
It was awful for you.
I can understand how Beryl feels. Can't be easy for a woman like her to leave behind everything she's had and start all over again.
But there was no need for her to do it.
Obviously, she doesn't see it that way. She's probably feeling incredibly homesick and determined not to show it. And scared. I know I was. When Gordon and I split up, I had no idea what the future held. Never felt more down and alone in all my life. That's how Beryl's feeling. It's no wonder her behavior's a little neurotic.
Oh, it was great of you to go.
I think it's just a pity that she's making herself and David so miserable when it's so unnecessary. I just wish she'd get it all out of her system and go back to Melbourne where she belongs.
You're terrific, you know that?
Thanks.
Hey, Joey. You're getting away before the bell, aren't you?
Take the rosters home. Too much going on here.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk to you about. The roster. I want Tuesday off.
It's too late.
Oh, come on, you can fix it for me. Well, you're not much of a mate if you can't, you know.
But I'll have a look. I don't think I can swim in there.
Oh, of course you can, for me. Thanks a lot, mate.
Hey, kill you on Monday.
Hey, listen, hang on for a tick and come down the pub with the rest of us.
I won't have time. Got to get started on these. Especially if I've got to juggle this week's for you.
Yeah, well, don't work too hard then, will you, mate?
See you around.
We're supposed to be giving the orders. You shouldn't bend over backwards to do your mates a favour.
I don't want to end up being hated, Bates.
Well, your introduction to the world of big business.
Have to admit I'm feeling the odd butterfly.
It's only a casual gathering.
They'll all be keen to find out what I'm like, what my potential is.
Just relax and be yourself and you'll win them over completely.
Some of them will probably resent me for being so young and having it all dropped in my lap.
Nonsense. They were devoted to James, and the fact that you were his choice will be more than enough for them.
That'll do for a start.
Anyway, you've got ours yet?
What would really relax me most is rolling my sleeves up and doing a bit of work. Well, that is if you don't object to me still working in the garden.
Of course not, if it makes you happy. Besides, Angela's out there. She'll be able to keep you company.
Yeah.
Hi. Found a nice place out of the wind to read, but it's getting a bit cold now.
Not if you do some work.
Oh, okay. What do you want me to do?
Oh, well, you can sweep up the grass I've already cut and put it in the barrow.
Alrighty. I didn't expect to see you working out here again.
I thought it might relax me. Help take my mind off the cocktail party.
Oh, you'll be all right.
Ow! Must have the shakes.
Have you got a clean hanky?
Your turn. Oh, I took the thorn out of your finger. Now you're fixing up my cut. We'll have to stop meeting like this.
Good boy. You've been very brave.
I'm not as good as I'd like to be. In some things.
It isn't easy, is it? They're just friends, Bit.
No.
Mother seemed to think it was the best way to deal with the problem, and she's probably right.
Suppose so.
She's been very understanding. You don't know what a relief it's been to be able to talk to someone, to be completely honest. I don't like having to hide things.
Yeah. She's been really terrific. It's taken a bit of the heat off me, too. Knowing she knows and has been so good about it. I'm surprised, you know. Why your mum and Fiona don't get on. They're both so nice.
Fiona Thompson is a vindictive old... Well, she did everything she could to send us bankrupt. If it hadn't been for your grandfather's money, we would be.
She's been good to me.
Well, I'm sorry if she's a friend of yours.
Dad could sure do with it.
Your copy. Put one up on the notice board?
Yeah.
Any changes for this week's?
No?
I think this might mean trouble then.
David? Just seen the roster. I'm still down for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mike. I couldn't swing it.
Oh, come on, Dave.
Look, I can juggle things just so much.
Well, you do it for others. Surely you can do it for me.
Look, I'm getting further and further behind getting the rosters out because I have to fiddle them to try to help you blokes. I'm not doing it anymore. You know, special favours for anything. Oh, terrific. Sorry. That's the way it is.
Looks like a bit of promotion's gone to his head.
Yeah.
How you managed to keep quiet for so long, but you really were. But you were dying to tell someone.
If Fiona knew, I could talk to her.
Hmm.
You don't like Fiona?
Well, what do you reckon? After she sued Mr. Hamilton, bought up Mumbai and turfed us out, now she's gone ahead with Mr. Hamilton's idea of turning the place into a riding school. Knew just what she was doing all along. Cunning woman, if you ask me.
I'll be going.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Morning.
Good morning.
All ready for the big day?
Yep.
After the impression you made on Saturday night, I don't think you'll have any worries.
Thanks for all the backup you gave me.
John will be going in soon if you don't want to ride the bike.
It's okay. I've got somewhere to stop off on the way.
Do you know where Paul's stopping off?
Wouldn't have a clue.
Beryl's taken herself off into town for the day, window shopping. Though why she'd want to buy a window, I really don't know. Oh, lousy joke. But it is still early for me. How did the party go on Saturday?
Okay. Thought you would have been there.
Oh, Beryl was feeling a bit depressed. I didn't feel like walking out on her. And I told Hal that I could congratulate you personally. Congratulations. How did you make out with all the stuffed shirts?
Well, they all seem very pleasant.
Yeah, they're not a bad bunch, I suppose. Just not really my cup of tea. There, come on in and sit down until that's ready.
Patricia was great. She went out of her way to make me feel at ease with everyone.
Oh, good.
I think she's a tremendous person.
Really? She's obviously done a good job of pulling the wool over your eyes, too.
There's no point in being malicious about her, Fiona.
Malicious? That sounds very much like some sort of a word Patricia would say about me.
She's never said a word against you.
I can just imagine.
And yet you've been constantly making little digs at her.
Maybe that's because I'm a little bit too honest for my own good. Patricia is far more subtle, I know.
She seems to me to be very sincere from what I've seen.
Oh, rubbish. You just want to like her because she's Angela's mother.
I don't see that was very necessary.
Sorry. I want to tell you about Patricia for your own good. I'm not going to stand back and see her making a fool out of you like she did with James.
I can't see anyone making a fool out of my grandfather. Well, there's no use saying anything, Fiona, because I know how biased you are against her. I know the things you've done to the Hamilton family. And not from her. She's refused to discuss it.
Who did you get it from?
Angela. I knew she used to be a friend of yours.
She's a Hamilton. Whose side did you expect her to see it from?
Rosie's not a Hamilton. She doesn't even care much for Patricia. So there's no reason why she'd lie. Seems to me you've taken a real set against the Hamiltons.
Patricia has really outdone herself with you, hasn't she? I gave you credit for more sense. Well, don't you come round here singing her praises, because I just couldn't stomach that.
All right, Fiona. If that's how you want it. I think it might be best if we don't see too much of each other in the future. Patricia and Hal can give me all the business advice I need.
Yeah, but Paul...
Thank you very much for all you've done for me. I do appreciate it. But I think it's time I made my own choices.
Flattering freeze for Fiona, this one. Pat the Rat probably had a hand in that too. She's pushing Paul and Angela together nicely, which is masterful. She was the epitome of innocence in front of John and Curly, masterful again, and everyone else is jumping through hoops to run Fiona down on her behalf. She is masterful. And do you think Batesy is going to be the Pat the Rat of Melbourne? He was a bit devious today as well. Graham Bailey has noticed that the set dresser on this last week was Gordon Brown, who of course went on to be Chancellor of the Exchequer as his next career move. And I had to laugh when I got a letter addressed to Judy Menzel after the bank holiday. No, Claire from Bristol, she does continuity on SAD. I do continuity announcing. An honest mistake, or were you taking the you-know-what? More on Monday at 1:30.